So we are going to move on to our last book discussion. Doing the Unthinkable by Nicole Jackson, guys. Okay, so yes, last one, guys. Again, Doing the Unthinkable. And this one was by Nicole Jackson. And this is the book club questions and discussion series. This one was the only book of this series that was 2 books. The rest of them was standalones, great standalones, but this one had a little bit more. So the questions and the discussions are going to be a little bit more because I'm actually going to do both books. So I'm actually doing both books for you guys, okay? So, all right, getting right into it. One of the first questions I had about this book is, are we buying Will's story about being broke but always gone? So the story started out with both of our characters, Yaya and Will, kind of living in the hood, kind of struggling and everything like that. And she basically was just like, he's always gone, but he's always broke. And so, yeah, I didn't buy that story. I feel like busy people, you can't be broke to me. Like, I just say that. If you are working hard and whatever it is, it's going to pay off. So, yeah, that was a red flag to me. By him always wanted to be getting out the house, but you ain't got no money, that was a red flag to me. Will not showing to pick Yaya up from work and not answering the phone. Again, another red flag. Because y'all got all this history together. Y'all live together. You know she don't got no car. You know she at work. And then you out here not answering the phone and didn't show up for her. Like, Will's rolling out the red carpet to lay the things that happened in the book at this point. Because you was just messing up. So, getting to the mess up. Was Yaya too friendly being in Romeo's car, getting to know each other, laughing, just giggling it up and just being with him? Listen, I'm going to say on this part, she was not wrong to me because like I just said, Will was rolling out the red carpet to this situation because what did I just say? He didn't have no money, but he was always gone. He left her at work. Wasn't answering the phone, claiming the phone's dead, da-da-da-da-da. So it's like when things like this happen, then you have to know people might react in a certain way. And especially like this book put very much big emphasis on Will being very attractive and Yaya being very attractive as well. So you got a bad bitch and you out here not doing what you're supposed to do. All right, baby, another ninja gonna come along and apply that pressure. Okay? Alrighty. Oh, so she was in Romeo's car, so that is going to be the other guy in the love triangle. And as you can see, the reason she was in that car is because Will left her stranded, and Romeo came on right on along and scooped that up. Okay. So, she wasn't wrong, but I just knew it was trouble because, baby, she was up in there laughing, and a man would laugh you right on out your panties. Okay. So, Okay. Oh, my favorite question was Romeo dirty macking? Y'all know that's my favorite question. Anytime we have a love triangle and we have 2 guys, my first question is dirty macking. Was he dirty macking? I'm going to say yeah. I think my note says no right here, right? But I'm just going to say, I'm going to change my answer to yes. Because now that I have read the book 1 and book 2, he was dirty macking because he continuously do it. So I feel like it was dirty macking. Now, if you do it and then you kind of leave the situation alone, you kind of point it out and then you leave it alone, then I'll be like, okay, that's not too much dirty macking. But he continuously did it. So yeah, Romeo was a little dirty macking to me. But Will left that door open for Romeo to dirty mac. So it's like if you was crossing your T's and dotting your I's, then it wouldn't be nothing for him to point out to your girlfriend. So, yeah. Should Yaya believe Will's sister? Coming off a murder mystery where I say don't trust nobody, I'm gonna say no, right? But no, seriously. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really believe the sister. By the end of the book, I kind of did, but at that point, I didn't because I'm just like, that's his sister. Maybe she gonna lie for him. So yeah, Will was messing up. And then he was putting other people in it to cover for him. And yeah, I wouldn't have believed it. Yaya friends was putting the jumper cables on Yaya about cheating in her relationship. Oh, that part, I definitely felt like her friends knew more than what they were saying, and then eventually it does come out like XYZ about Will. Again, I'm not giving it all away, even though the questions and discussion part is going to be more detailed now. I'm still not trying to get all of the story away. I still want y'all to read. They put the jumper cables on her in two ways. Two ways to me. Well, a couple ways to me. For one, they were questioning them being so young and being so much in a committed relationship, for one. And then the other one was they were saying that, okay, for the amount of time that her and Will have been together, do she really feel like Will has never cheated on her? I feel like when people are asking you those questions, you kind of feel like, okay, why y'all going so hard? Is it something you want to tell me? Yes or no, right? And so, like I said, XYZ did come out about Will in this conversation a little bit, and so it did put the jumper cables on Yaya to be like, okay, it planted a seed, basically. It planted a seed, and seeds are bad. Seeds grow. So it's like, even though it was a little bit of doubt, it grew into something else, and it definitely put her with a more open mind to entertain certain things. So yeah, they definitely put the jumper cables on her. Okay, so should Yaya feel guilty about having sex with Romeo after finding out Will sent her the money after all? That's a lot to take in from our last question, right? We went from did he put the jumper cables on to she didn't have sex. So, okay. So, Yaya asked Will to send her some money because she wanted to go out with her friends. She said the book says that he read the message, but he didn't respond. She didn't receive the money. So she was at home, like Friday night, nothing to do, friends gone out, or whatever like that, and she decides to walk to the store. And on the walk to the store, she runs into Romeo again. Now, like I said, Romeo like her. There's gonna be a little triangle. Romeo is dirty macking and he applying pressure. So he like scoop her up, like, what are you doing outside? It's too late for you to be outside. Come right along with me, you know, whatever like that. And she go, and they end up having sex. I ain't gonna get too many more details away because I feel like I just gave a lot. But yeah, so they go have sex or whatever like that, and that's that. She ended up coming home, and when she comes home, her and Will get into like a small, I don't know, you know what, I don't know if it was an argument, but they come to discover that Will did send her the money, but it just went to a different cash app. So, I do feel like I would have had some guilt. I don't know if she had guilt. I don't think she had guilt at that point because all of the other stuff Will did do. But I feel like I would have had some guilt because I think some of her driving energy or some of her driving force to having sex with Romeo was like, oh, because Will didn't send her the money. So if that was the reason why you had sex and then you found out like your reason was invalid, yes, I would be a little guilty. I'd have been like a little shame. I'd have been kind of ducking Romeo at that point. Did Yaya take her get back too far after the fancy dinner date with Romeo? Yes, baby, Yaya was out here living her best life. So like Romeo took her to this fancy dinner. Before they get to the dinner, he took her to the mall, took her shopping, dropped the bag, put her in designer, and then took her to a fancy dinner. And baby, when I say the get back was real, because she was giving this man the sex in a car, and then they were so wrapped up in it, they pulled over in a parking lot and got to doing it in the parking lot, standing outside the door. Oh, this what y'all wanted. Y'all wanted the heat, baby. So yes, if you read this book, you was locked in and you like jaw on the floor. Jaw on the floor. My jaw was still on the floor. I might read it a third time. No, I'm just joking. But yes, she the get back, and she didn't care. She did not care. Like, I feel like being in the mall, hugged up like a couple, being out to dinner like a couple, the sex in the car like a couple, it was wow. So I feel like she did take her get back a little too far at this point, because I think at this point we still got red flags from Will, but we have no confirmation of him actually cheating at this point. So it's like, for you to be out and doing this, baby, no holds barred, and it's not confirmed yet that your man is cheating, she went a little far to me. So yeah, she went a little far to me. It was a lot. Romeo, this is just a little note that did I think Romeo was like a book bait at this point? A little bit, because like I said, he was applying pressure. He seemed, I like knowledgeable, like educated, good advice giving dudes, and he was like coming across as that. And he had a bag, and he had a big dick. So it was like, yes, Romeo was giving book bait a little bit at this point. A little bit, he was giving book bait. The only downside was like the dirty macking. The dirty macking was like a little bit much for me, because I feel like you should never have to make somebody else look bad to make yourself look good. So like, that was like the only downside to me. Should Yaya trust Romeo as just a friend? Okay, so, you know, if you read this book, then it got to the point where they had to, like, say, hey, we're going to cut all X, Y, Z out, and we just going to be, Yaya just wanted to be friends. Romeo didn't want to be a friend, but Yaya wanted to be friends. I think at this point, yes, she should have never trusted him as a friend, because if you was involved with somebody sexually, and it seemed like the chemistry was there, and everything kind of was like there for y'all to be more than friends, and then y'all just decided to be friends and nothing bad kind of happened, and the other person still want to be more than friends, you can't trust that friendship. So I think that was kind of like, you know, they was kind of setting themselves up for like failure, and it was unrealistic. So yeah, you can't trust a man that wants to be with you more than just friends, but he just say, oh, I'm gonna be a friend. No, you can't trust that. Should Yaya been worried or warned when she found out one of Romeo's exes end up in a psych ward? That part was crazy. So somebody was putting Yaya on game. I ain't gonna tell y'all too much of the story. But somebody was putting Yaya up on game and basically was like, yeah, you better off being just friends with him, or you better off not messing with this man at all. Because the last girl that was messing around with him ended up trying to kill herself, ended up in a crazy hospital. I'm like that meme on Instagram. If it's like that, I want some. That's so bad to say, right? But it's like that. I need to see what this is about. But Yaya had already seen what it was about at that point, because I think the first time that they had sex, she was like, it was big or whatever like that. So, I think that should have been a warning, but for toxic situations, that's not a warning. Like, if it's gonna have me acting crazy, I want some. I want to love it. So horrible. Like I said, we living vicariously through this book. We living vicariously through these characters. Okay. Was Yaya wrong for being mad at Romeo when she seen him outside the club with the two women arguing over him? I think she showed her hand at that point. Should she been mad? I don't think she should have been mad, because she's the one who played the friend card on him. But at that point, once she seen the two girls arguing with him, she wasn't with him. So she wasn't with him. She was coming out a restaurant, and she seen he was on a date with one, and then another one decided to pop up and confront him on his date with the other chick. And so she got mad at this point, and like I said, she exposed her hand, showed her hand at this point, because if y'all just friends and you like are really putting this man in the friend zone, you can't be mad about this situation. But once she seen that, she actually pulled back and she said, you know, she didn't want to be his friend anymore or whatever. Or she stopped talking to him. Was Romeo wrong for being in his feelings when he seen Yaya at the club with Will? So again, another situation happened. So yes, I feel like he was wrong no, you know what? My answer actually says yes, but now thinking about it and just dissecting everything, I would say that he was not wrong for being in his feelings, because he's not the one who wants the friendship. He want more than friendship with her. So for a person that want more than friendship, then you can't say that they're wrong for showing their feelings when situations happen, because you know that they want to be more than friends. So that's why I say they kind of setting themselves up for failure, thinking that they was just gonna be friends, because he was in his feelings. And I and my notes say like this is the point where I was like, oh yeah, Romeo is like falling in love. So like up until this point, it was like, okay, they just messing around. We don't really know what's going on. But like at this point, I was like, Romeo falling in love. Romeo falling in love. Should Yaya feel guilty after coming home with the car Romeo bought her, and Will had her bag filled with money for a new car? Yes, but we know she did not. Listen, I just felt like Yaya was in her own little Yaya bubble, because, like the question says, she was with Romeo, and Romeo bought her a car, like cashed out, bought her a nice car, and then she came home with the car. And part of why she got this car is because Romeo again was dirty macking and was like, you ain't got no car, he got you walking, but I'll cash you out, buy you a car. He bought her the car. She went home with the car. She came up with a story how she got the car. And when she got home, Will had a gift for her. He had like a designer bag with a whole bunch of money in there. And he was basically like, the money in the bag, we're going to go and put down on a down payment to get you a car. And so Yaya was like, okay. And like I said, she should have felt guilty at this point, but she didn't, because she was wrapped up in her world like, oh, I got 2 men, both after me, both doing great things to me, both applying pressure. So she should have knew like trouble was coming, but she was playing with fire at this point, and I don't think she realized it yet. But she should have felt guilty, but she did not. Yeah. Romeo was not keeping it P when he commented on Yaya IG post. Did he overstep? Again, I'm gonna have to take Romeo's side on this, because XYZ happened, a car situation happened. He had just bought her a car, and then she decided to like not talk to him again. So he ended up commenting on her Instagram post like yada yada yada, whatever he said. But we all know how social media work. It's the wrong person saying the wrong thing in your comments. What is this? Especially when you got a man, right? So listen, I'm gonna say he didn't overstep, just because one, we know his feelings for Yaya. He just bought her a car. He want to be more than friends with her. She's playing around with his feelings at this point. So it's like whatever comes about with that, you have to deal with that. So yeah, I don't think that Romeo was overstepping for that. Yaya should have expected that, but she didn't, because she just in her own world thinking like, I'ma just milk these gravy trains until the end of the gravy train, right? Moving on in the story, did Romeo explain the baby mama situation help or hurt him to you? I think it hurt him, because he explained the baby mama situation, because Yaya was like, you got a baby on the way. While all of this is going on with Romeo and Yaya, he literally has somebody actively pregnant. Baby not here. So you already like after me applying pressure, but you have somebody pregnant. To me, that hurt him. I think I would have looked at it like, you got somebody pregnant, and this is the stipulations or the situation of how you got them pregnant. Then we have to circle around to you having somebody in a psych ward, and then you after me. That makes me, I'd have been like, I don't know. That's the type of man that kind of scare you a little bit, because it's like you moving on kind of quick, and then you leaving women down in the dirt, hurt. You know, like that's a little scary. Okay. Should Yaya went to talk in person after the IG situation? No. So the IG situation and him explaining the baby mama situation, they all kind of happened in the same conversation. So after he commented, Yaya was like, okay, I wasn't going to confront him about it and talk to him about it. But she went in person. It was not a phone call. She went in person. So I think, so my question was it a good idea? And no, it was not a good idea. Because I feel like I don't want to get the next question away. But I feel like it wasn't a good idea to actually talk in person because it could have been a conversation because then you know what happened. It led to them being in bed again and it was just kind of defeated the whole point of her pulling away from him. It put him right back in the mix. It was just not a good idea for her to actually go talk in person. When she went to go talk in person, then that kicked off another round of drama. And the next question is, did Will take it too far pulling a gun on Yaya after catching her cheating? And yes. Yeah. Like, up until this point, everybody was always saying in theory, like, oh, if he catch you, he gonna do something bad to you. But that was taking it too far. He pulled a gun out on her and like he was really mad. He was crashing out about like kind of catching her cheating or whatever like that. But still, like him pulling the gun out, he took it too far to me. Like, was it wrong of Romeo to back off Yaya after Will called his phone? Yes, like you apply all this pressure and then soon the heat get turned up, you want to like back off now? I asked you to back off before you commented on IG. I asked you to back off before you bought the car. I asked you to back off before the expensive dinners. Like, she continuously kept on trying to get an out. Now, she wasn't fighting hard for the outs, but this is what make you, like, stop talking to me. So, at that point, Will called her cheating. Will broke up with her, so Will is not talking to her. And then now, like, Romeo is not talking to her either. So, she was really, like, in a bad situation. So, Romeo was a little weak for that to me. Like, I'm like, took some of like one of his little book babe points away to me. But moving on along in the story, should Yaya still attend Will's sister's K party? Was that a good idea? Yeah or no? I don't know. So like knowing what happened, I'm gonna say it wasn't a good idea, but knowing how long her and Will was together, I didn't see the invitation being done in malice, or like if you just broke up with your boyfriend of all these years and you got invited to somewhere, you probably would still go. So I wouldn't say it was a bad idea, but it definitely moved like the plot of the story along. So at the dinner, then we find out Will is involved with somebody. Okay, all right. So we won't go too deep on Will's. We're leaving some things for y'all to read. My next question: should Romeo have known better to be carrying on the way that he was in Key West with Yaya after her breakup, knowing that she was in a fragile state? So I'm gonna say he should have known better, but I feel like he was playing it very selfishly because it's like, you know that she just broke up with this person, and while she's with you, she's still very much sad about being broke up with this person, but you are just taking advantage of the situation that she's there, she's having sex, she's having a fun time, but mentally she's still kind of checked out and hurt about her breakup. So I think that he should have been a little bit more careful, because now like his feelings is getting involved. Well, we know his feelings is involved, but now y'all having this long period of time where y'all get to be together, spend time together, have sex and all of this, but you know that she just broken up with somebody and you never know how that can go. So for you to be so deeply invested with somebody that just broke up, like that's a red flag. So y'all beware in real life when somebody was so in love and you come across them on some dating type stuff, you never know which way they can go if that other person decides to come back. And that's why I feel like that was dangerous of him to be doing that, because you don't really know if Will decides to come back where she decides to go, you know. And I think that's end up being like a big plot of the book, of the back and forth. Are we surprised that Yaya folded for Will? See, no, I was not surprised that she folded for Will, because it was like they had all this history. She really loved him, even though when Will broke up with her, she was with Romeo. But it was like, she didn't say that she didn't want to be with him, but she just made it known that she still loved Will a lot, even though she was with Romeo. And Romeo was just having his cake and eating it too when their relationship was on the breakup, because it was like now he got the girl, he having sex with her, they having fun, and he falling in love. He falling deeper in love, because I think earlier in the story kind of already established that he was in love, but he's like falling deeper in love with her at this point. But you don't know what her heart is fully. So yeah, I was not surprised that she voted for Will. Not at all. Are we surprised about Romeo's actions after Yaya went back to Will? I was not surprised about his actions because he was hurt. He was heartbroken. He was being messy. When he mentioned, like, yeah, I could tell him I tried out that back door, but that all came with the hurt. Like, so I wasn't surprised that he responded that way because he was hurt. So yeah, I wasn't surprised. Situation happened. She back with Will, but she got to go talk to Romeo again. And that came to be one of the like the reoccurring things in the book, was she had to go back and talk to Romeo again. Every time she went back to talk to Romeo, she had sex with him. So now, like, you, to me, at that point, she wanted to be with Romeo. She just couldn't figure that. She hadn't figured it out yet. I feel like she was very confused. Because, okay, this is the thing to me. You said you loved Will so much. Y'all broke up. And you was devastated and hurt about being broke up with him. And then he comes back. That is your chance right there to get your act together, cut off all the extra stuff, and then be with him. Because now you're getting a second chance to be where you say you want to be, right? But then soon as a situation happened and you have to go and talk to Romeo again, you're having sex with Romeo again. So that means to me, in reality, you really wanted to be with Romeo. Because if you can't say no to Romeo while you are back in a relationship that you were so hurt over with Will, if you can't say no, that means you wanted to be with Romeo. Like, I hope y'all get my point, like what I'm saying. Because if you really want to be with Will, you should have been able to say no to Romeo. And if you wasn't able to say no to Romeo for Will, then that means you actually want to be with Romeo to me. But I think Will was just like your safety net of, I've been with this person for so long and I know what kind of person they are. And it was just like too many unknown variables with all of the stuff that Romeo had going on. So I think that's why she was confused, but she was rocking with Will, but then she really wasn't, right? Should Yaya trust Will after the breakup and makeup? And I wrote this question because I don't want to get too much away. But my short answer to this is no. I don't know. Or maybe it's a yes. Because actually, okay, so I feel like I would have been okay with trusting him because I'm teetering on this one, because I feel like we never got confirmation Will cheated. Will never cheated. Will had a girl when they broke up, but Will never cheated. So to the makeup part, I want to say yes, I would trust him, but then what has me teetering is because, again, when you go start some other stuff and then you come back to your married relationship, it's a little hard to kind of kill off that other stuff. So that makes me say, like, no, I wouldn't trust him. But at the same time, up until this point, she never had no issues with Will, like, flat out cheating. Nobody confronting her, no finding no stuff in the phone, no nothing like that. So on one hand, yeah, she could trust him, but on the other hand, no, because it's like, if you was having a hard time cutting your side piece off, Will could be having a hard time cutting his side piece off. So yeah, that question was a good question, and it had me kind of back and forth. I still am back and forth. Are we surprised Yaya is pregnant? Yeah, so at this point in the story, Yaya is pregnant. I'm not surprised that she was pregnant. She was busting it open, baby. She was having more sex in a little bit, and all of it was unprotected. So yeah, I'm not surprised that she was pregnant. Should Yaya not call Romeo about the pregnancy? I said no. I feel like why she shouldn't have called him about the pregnancy. And okay, so a little backstory of why she called him about the pregnancy is because she don't know who she was pregnant by. Is that surprising? No, because everything that happened in the story with the back and forth, the makeup, the breakup, the having sex when you making up and still having sex with this other person while y'all made up and everything like that. So no, it's not surprising that she didn't know who her baby daddy was. No, it's kind of not surprising that she's pregnant. But should she have called Romeo when she called him? And my answer was no. Because knowing that she was about to get ready and pull what she was about to pull, she shouldn't have put Romeo in it. Knowing that she's playing with this man's emotions, knowing what she was about to get ready to ask him to do, she would have just came out better not calling him to me. Like, I would have never told him. He wouldn't have knew nothing about a baby until you see me out and pregnant somewhere, or you see me on Instagram pregnant. Like, I wouldn't have called him. Oh, y'all got me telling on me. I want to call. Did you see the ending comment with Yaya pinning the baby on Will? Well, I kind of just gave it to y'all, but yeah. So at the end of that book, at the end of book 1, Yaya found out she's pregnant. She don't know who she pregnant by. She tell Romeo she gonna say the baby is Will's, and she would like for him to not interfere in that. Wow. Like, not W-O-W wow, but W-I-L-D wow. Like, she was a wild girl. Like, if that was the plan, she shouldn't have never called Romeo. She shouldn't have never involved him and let him know anything. Because that right there let him know that it was a chance, but you was just denying him of the chance. She shouldn't have called him. She should have just let, like I said, I would you to just have to see me out pregnant and figure some stuff out then. But I'm not putting you on game. Child. So that was the end of book 1. We're going to get into book 2, and then we're going to wrap this thing on up. Okay, y'all? All right. So book 2. The beginning of book 2, we start out with Yaya 6 months pregnant, and she still have not told Will it's a chance that he's not the dad. Crazy. So it's like you had 6 months to kind of lay this on him. You had the other time when you first found out you was pregnant to kind of say, hey, I don't know. She had a couple outs, y'all, and you got to read the book, but she had a couple outs, and she still did not take. She didn't take them. Was it a red flag that Tammie have Will's picture pinned to the top of her Instagram page? So yes, we started out book 2, and Yaya's pregnant. She ain't got nothing to do. She in the house or whatever like that. She goes to Tammie's page. Tammie is the girl who Will got involved with before when they broke up. She goes to Tammie's page, and Tammie has her and Will's picture pinned to the top of her page. Yes, it was a red flag to me, because now we have been back, made up for 6 months. I'm pregnant, but this girl still got your picture pinned to the top of her page. Why? So yeah, that was definitely a red flag to me. Was Romeo wrong for coming to the baby shower? No. Y'all, I keep saying Romeo ain't wrong for doing nothing. Y'all know whose side I'm on. Okay, look. So yeah, I do not feel like Romeo was wrong for coming to the baby shower, because it could possibly be his baby, and then you all over here with this man playing house, and this could possibly be my baby. So I don't feel like Romeo was wrong for coming to the baby shower. Now, the stipulations that he put on her at the baby shower, I won't tell y'all, but he was a little extreme for that. But nah, he wasn't wrong for coming to that baby shower, because Yaya needed a little shaking up. Like, bitch, you get your man right, okay? Oh, he wasn't wrong. Did Yaya need to go talk to Romeo after the baby shower situation? Again, no. Again, another situation, she's going to talk to Romeo in person. What y'all know what's going to happen? She about to fold. Fold like a lawn chair. Fold like a lawn chair. With a slight breeze. With no breeze. Even worse, with no breeze. It ain't no breeze. You just folded. Just tipped over. No wind. So, yeah, she was wrong. She didn't need to go talk to him after the baby shower. She wants to go confront him about coming to the baby shower and everything like this, that, and the third. All that shit went in one ear and out the other ear with Romeo, and they was having sex again. Like I said, I feel like she just really wants to be with Romeo, but Will was just like the safer place. You can't turn Romeo down sexually. Every time you're in the room with him, you having sex with him. And it's never a good idea to go talk to him. It's just never a good idea to go talk to him in person about nothing. You know what I'm saying? So that was a little crazy. Should Yaya just call Romeo after having a baby? Yes, I think she would have. She should have just called Romeo after having a baby, because I think that would have just made her situation a little bit easier with him. Like, it's already a messed up situation, but I think it would have made it just a little bit easier. Will keeping in touch with Tammie. Yaya going in the phone to find trouble and to spend time with Romeo. And then Romeo suggested it all. It was a mess. So, that was just like a note. It wasn't a question or nothing like that. But after Yaya go talk to Romeo, Romeo is like, you need to come and stay with me for a week. Wow, shit. She is like living with Will, think Will is pregnant, Will think his baby, and then Romeo come up with this wow request of, you need to come stay with me for a week. And she like, well, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. He like, go through Will phone, pick a fight, do something, and then you can come and stay with me. She ended up doing it. She ended up going to Will's phone. She ended up seeing some questionable shit between Will and Tammie, so that she could go stay with Romeo for a week. So again, like I say, in reality, I don't think it just hit her that she really wanted to be with Romeo. Like, she really wanted to be with Romeo, because she did it and she went to go stay with him for a week. Wow. Did Will overreact after Yaya was gone a week? Yes. Yeah, he kind of overreacted, because I want to say was a little snatched her about her hair a little bit. It was, yeah, it's just a little bit. From Will's call to Tammie, should Yaya suspected more? Yes. So she come home, they like having an altercation about where she been. She like, I left cause XYZ, cause situation with Tammie. Now call her, I want to see. Oh no. Yeah. I can't remember if this was the call her and confront her, or did Tammie call him. But during the phone call, Tammie is about to say something and then Will hangs up. So yes, that, I do feel like that should have made Yaya definitely suspect a little bit more, because Will is trying to play it like not that much is going on. But again, Tammie got the picture at the top of the Instagram, and then the situation happened when she went in the phone and she seen the stuff that was in the phones that gave her the out to go spend time with Romeo. So yeah, it's like Tammie and Will still got some stuff going on. So yeah. But because it's like she's so guilty of her own doing, she can't invest too much in nitpicking his shit apart, because she guilty. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah. Who do we think baby number 2 daddy is? That question just gave it away. She's going to be pregnant again, and she don't know who her baby daddy is. Ma'am, we need to get it together at this point. She still ain't got it together at this point. Now, I did ask y'all that about baby number 1, and then baby number 1 come out with some characteristics. I won't tell y'all who the daddy is. And then I won't tell y'all who the daddy is for baby number 2. So, I think that I know who the babies belong to, just from the book. But I don't want to give it away. We're skipping that one. Was Yaya dirty for having Romeo mother keep the baby as the babysitter? Oh yes, this bitch was dirty. So she got one baby in the belly, and then one baby is born, and so she got Romeo mama babysitting. Now I ain't gonna give it all away how all this came about, why it came about, whatever like that. But yes, so Will never meets the babysitter. Will don't drop the baby off to the babysitter. He just know his baby is going to the babysitter, and the whole time it's Romeo mama. And the baby going over there to spend time with the other suspected father side of the family, because Romeo like Will gets the baby gets to spend time with Will's family. The baby should be able to spend time with my family as well, and she's doing it. She's a dirty motherfucker. Dirty. Is Tammie being pregnant Yaya's karma. So it ain't no secret that Tammie is Will's girl, ex-girl. And she pregnant, so I ain't gonna try to trick y'all and act like this not Will baby. It's Will's baby. And I say, was it her karma because like all of the dirt that she was doing? Absolutely. Because I feel like she had plenty outs that would have took her out of this situation, but because she was dragging it along and still doing so much dirt, now yeah, that's her karma. Yeah, I mean, Tammie being pregnant is definitely Yaya's karma. Absolutely. Is Tammie Will's karma? Absolutely. Because now we find out the nitty gritty of Will and Tammie's relationship. And it's like, if you would have just let Yaya go, yes. If you wouldn't have drugged, you as well wouldn't have drugged this situation alone, Tammie could be pregnant and you don't have to jeopardize your relationship with Yaya. So yeah, Tammie is your karma as well, because what's done in the dark is always gonna come to the light. She's absolutely Will's karma. Yes. Is Yaya now vindicated from her cheating after now we found out all of Will's dirty laundry? So at this point, like I just said, we found out Tammie is pregnant, but I am not gonna give all away what we found out about Will. But I'm gonna just say sorta kinda. Is Yaya wrong for stepping on Jess' toes with Romeo? So now some more time passed in the book. Yaya decides to stay over here with Will, and Romeo decides to move on with his life, and now he has a girlfriend. Her name is Jess. And my question is Yaya wrong for stepping on Jess' toes with Romeo? And I feel like as a girl and as a woman, and I always be like, I'm a girl's girl, I definitely feel like she was wrong, because I feel like when a guy approach you, and this is my saying, if you are involved, somebody who think y'all in a relationship, if you in a relationship, if you married, to me, it's a no-go. So she knew that Romeo was in this relationship with this girl, and she still went for it. I ain't gonna give it all away, but she went for it. So she was wrong. She was wrong for stepping on Jess' toes. Was Romeo wrong for breaking up with Jess at the mall? Yes. I think that's the first time I said Romeo was wrong about anything. But okay, like I said, like, he definitely could have did it better, because you decide to break up with her at the mall. You invite her to the mall. She thinking y'all about to go shopping. You about to apologize for X, Y, Z. And then you like, nah, I want to break up. And then you going to do it at the mall in public. I would have probably still hit him with something in the store. Like, you thought he was getting off easy because we was in a public place. I'm about to show my ass up in here. But yeah, he was wrong. He was wrong for breaking up with her. And at the mall, yeah. Ooh, wind it down. A couple more questions and that's it, y'all. Was Will wrong for having beef with Romeo? No. I don't have an answer to that one in my book, in my notes. I think I just wanted to kind of think about it right now on live. I don't think he was wrong for having beef, because I do remember at the beginning of the story, like, Romeo, you knew the status of me and my girl's relationship, and then you decided to butt in. So you butted in with the full knowledge what you was butting in on. So yeah, Will was not wrong for like having beef with Romeo. I think this is a note. So it says Romeo had that big dick energy after officially getting into the relationship with Yaya. Taking Will's call, fighting Will, and hanging up on Will's sister. He left no space for get back. When it turned to Yaya and Romeo was like, I'm not making the same mistakes. He locked it down. Like, he did what he had to do. He fought. That we put Romeo, Yaya put Romeo through, but Romeo put himself through the situation as well, because you jumped into pursuing a woman who's in a relationship. So you put yourself into that situation. But once Romeo got that upper hand, he said it's no room for none of that. And I feel like that's how it goes. When a man wants you, that's how it's going to be. It ain't going to be no room for error, no room for question or confusion. Like, baby, what I just say he did, when Will was calling that phone, Romeo snatched that phone from Yaya. Hey, this my girl. Stop calling. He had a fight with Will. He hung up on Will's sister when Will's sister called and the auntie wanted to see the kids. Romeo said none of that. None of that. Y'all ain't got no room to come back over here. And that was that. Last question. Did you see the ending coming? Did you see the ending coming? No. No. No, 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 no. I think I'm thinking of the very, very ending, but even the things that's like ended, kind of leading up to the ending, because I made some notes, I didn't see it coming. So just like a recap. So, because I didn't ask questions about these things. So did I see the ending coming? No. Just exposing Romeo and Yaya on the internet. Absolutely didn't see that coming. Will trying to kill them and then going to jail. It's kind of like they made little hints that Will was that crazy to do it, but I didn't think it was coming. And then Tammie being a dummy. We're now Will in jail, and then she like, oh, I'm still gonna bring my baby up here to see you, and we're not gonna give up on you. The ending was great. The ending was chef kisses. Okay. No, the book was chef kisses. Like I said, my favorites was I Think I Love My Boyfriend. I Think I Love My Boyfriend. I don't know why. I don't know what the hell that was. I Think My Boyfriend Is a Serial Killer and Doing the Unthinkable. Those were my favorites this week, and they was tied as best, but you get one element of like the thriller mystery over here, and then with the Doing the Unthinkable, you get the drama and the love triangle and the romance with this one. These were great books. This was a great book. It was like I said, it was a series, so she had more time to add more detail and to bring this book to an end, to a close. She answered all questions. It was nothing lingering. It didn't feel incomplete in any way. Like, it was just great. It was just great. So this was the book we gave 5 stars. And yes, like, I hope you guys enjoyed this book just as much as I enjoyed this book. So again, we're gonna wrap it up. So like I said, if you guys want to write into me and give me your review or opinion that's not like left on YouTube or like in some of my inboxes, if you want to write in to me, it's ts_TammiePie@yahoo.com, and it's a chance that I could read your review on the show. That would be great. If you are an author that is interested in getting your book or your poem reviewed, you can also use that same email, ts_TammiePie@yahoo.com. Looking forward to those submissions as well. And if you want to follow me on IG, my IG is TopShelf_Tammie, and then my TikTok is TopShelfTammie. So yes, guys, until next time, I hope you enjoyed the series as much as I did. See you next time.